Many things were revealed at E3, one of those being the mini-game Gwent, which of course was in The Witcher 3, which a load of people seem to really enjoy playing to the point of it's its own game now, or will be its own game when it's released. You can currently sign up for the beta if you so desire. There'll be a link in the description below this video if you want to give it a bash, but obviously many questions have been raised since the reveal as to how exactly the monetization is going to work, as well as a few other things. And obviously it's going to be a free-to-play game. Now that does mean there's going to be some microtransactions because, well, it's a free-to-play game, you know, they need to fund it somehow, which is fair. However, we have some comments from the lead designer, Damien Monnier, in an interview with PC Gamer, and it basically said that they don't want to give any advantage to anyone who spends real money, and the game will not say, hey, do you want to spend money at any point. And he said, quote, "At the same time, we don't want these guys necessarily to get an advantage over people that don't want to spend money, and we also don't want people to don't want people to grind to be able to get card packs. And there's something I'm not going to tell you about yet because we want to see people's reactions, but we worked on this system that we think has cracked it. We can still totally be competitive without having to spend money, and the goal for us is that you feel if you want to spend some money, go ahead, but at no point will the game tell you this is it, you hit a wall, you must spend money." Now, we also talked a little bit about how spending real money will actually work in Gwent. Basically, you'll be able to choose between 3 cards that are rare and above when buying a card pack, with over 4 cards being random. So you can actually choose, which is actually kind of nice. So if you've already got a rare, or it's a rare you're not really interested in, or you're after a certain rare or something like that, you can actually choose which one you want, which is actually pretty cool. And he said, quote, "We say, okay, if you want to spend money, that's fine, but we want to do more than just here's 5 random cards. We want to say here's 4 random and here's 1 you can pick." Now, another thing that he spoke on was the single-player campaign, which is something we also learned about at E3. I think many people just thought it'd just be sort of PvP, but there is actually going to be some sort of single-player. And he said, quote, "Okay, but what if you don't want to play online? Many people don't want to play online, but still want to enjoy Gwent again. Let's create a single-player campaign, let's get the lead writer from Witcher, let's get the lead quest designer from Witcher, let's do a proper thing." And then they came on and said, well, what about if you explore this map, and you're able to interact with things around the world, the way you interact will have consequences, and it just snowballed this huge thing. We're looking at like 10 hours, but 10 hours for just one campaign. There's set choices and consequences card that you can receive from them, and that's the whole point. You start with a base deck, and as you progress through the campaign, it gets bigger and bigger. I must say, this is actually sounding really promising. I mean, I love Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a great game. It's actually one of the very first CCGs that I really fell in love with. I mean, I collected Pokemon when I was younger, but I never actually played it. I think like most people, to be honest. But this is actually sounding really promising. If the monetization is as fair as they say, it sounds pretty awesome. And the single-player campaign has me interested as well. I enjoy Hearthstone's multiplayer, but the single-player has always been a bit lacking for me. Obviously, you have the adventures and stuff, but you play them once and that's about it. And might maybe last you a couple of hours about that, depending on your skill level, of course. But it sounds like it's going to give us a lot of value, especially given that it's a free game. Let me try and give us some English. Wow. We should be surprised. It's CD Projekt Red. They've always been one of my favourite developers because they are just really fair and they always seem to give you a lot of stuff for your money in this case, which is nothing. And yet they have still gone to the time and trouble of making a 10-hour campaign for their collectible card game. So yeah, I'm interested. Signed up for the beta. Wink wink nudge nudge, CD Projekt. And I'll see you next time.